Shakes and shocks. There is one type of natural disaster that is almost impossible to predict and completely impossible to prevent. Earthquakes crumble roads and topple buildings. They hurl loose objects through the air and even start fires. Scientists know what causes the earth to shake, but they often can't predict quakes in time to keep people safe. The big one. Most people who live in the state of California can expect to experience at least one earthquake during their lifetime. Most quakes are mild. However, some have caused great death and destruction. In the early morning of April 18, 1906, the ground in the San Francisco Bay Area shook for about 45 seconds. The shaking was so strong that it was felt from Oregon to Los Angeles and as far inland as central Nevada. The effects. In the city of San Francisco, streets rippled like a stormy sea. The ground ruptured. Buildings collapsed, trapping people beneath the rubble. Gas from cracked gas pipes sparked blazes that burned for 3 days and nights. In an effort to stop the spread of the blaze, firefighters used dynamite to blow up buildings in its path. However, they succeeded only in sparking new fires. The aftermath. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake and fires caused billions of dollars in damage. In today's dollars, nearly 30,000 buildings were destroyed. Half the people in the city were left homeless. Officially, about 500 people were listed as killed. New research suggests an actual death toll as high as 3,000. It was one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history. After the quake, city officials rushed to rebuild in time for the 1915 World's Fair. At the time, there was still little knowledge about earthquake safety. Many new buildings were no safer than the old ones. However, within days of the 1906 quake, California's governor gathered a team of geologists to study earthquakes. This began a new era of earthquake research. The more scientists learn about earthquakes, the more they can protect people from them. On shaking ground. The ground beneath your feet might look as if it is standing still. However, that is an illusion. Earth's surface or crust is made up of many huge slabs called tectonic plates. These slabs fit together like pieces of jigsaw puzzle. However, unlike puzzle pieces, they are in constant motion. Under the surface, tectonic plates float on a layer of hard, soft rock. Some neighboring plates slide past one another. Others move apart or slowly crash together, and with one plate sliding under the other. Plates move slowly. They move only at about the same rate as your fingernails grow. The place where the edges of two tectonic plates meet. I speak again. The place where the edges of two tectonic plates meet is called a fault. Sometimes two plates get caught on one another along a fault. When this happens, friction causes tremendous pressures to build up inside the plates. Tectonic plates that get stuck together eventually tug free in sudden movements called fault slips. Slips and shocks. Fault slips can release enormous amount of energy. The released energy travels through Earth as seismic waves. These waves can break even the hardest rock. When seismic waves reach Earth's surface, they make the ground shake and earthquake occurs. The underground location where the earthquake starts is called the hypercenter. The epicenter is the point on Earth's surface directly above the hypercenter. This is where seismic waves are strongest. Faults and friction. Faults between tectonic plates can be very large. Some extend for hundreds of miles. The San Andreas Fault in western North America is a large fault. Other well-known large faults are the Lajima Fault in Japan and the North Anatolia Fault in Turkey. Not all faults are large. However, any quake between shifting layers of rock is considered a fault. Small faults can create fault lines in rock faces, riverbanks, and cliffs. Like the large, deep faults that cause earthquakes, small faults also generate friction that may lead to slippage. Earthquake clusters. Earthquakes usually occur in clusters. The most powerful earthquake in a cluster is called the main shock. Any ground shaking before it is called a fault shock. A quake that occurs after it is called an aftershock. Aftershocks are usually smaller movements in the plate that causes the initial quake. An aftershock can occur decades after a main shock. Some foreshock and aftershocks are too weak for people to feel. So I just practice again. Aftershocks are usually smaller movements in the plate that cause the initial quake. An aftershock can occur decades after a main shock. Some foreshock and aftershocks are too weak for people to feel. Making quakes. Occasionally, earthquakes result from human activity. Damming rivers create new bodies of water. This can put a huge amount of pressure on underground faults. Mining for coal and the pumping of oil also change the pressure on a fault and can set off quakes. Human-made quakes are usually mild, but not always. When people change the pressure on a major fault, they could set off a serious quake. This is a famous fault, the Big True famous fault. The St. Andreas Fault is about 600 miles. It's about 970 kilometers long. It cuts vertically through California. Two tectonic plates moving slowly in opposite directions formed the fault. For long periods, the plate edges strain to pace each other. An earthquake occurs when the mounting pressure between the plates finally leads to a fault slip. A fault line above the St. Andreas Fault can be seen as a valley, like scar running through the Carrizo Plain in California.